am always in the search for productivity tools to make myself more efficient. And one of the things that I use is a very low-tech tool I made myself and has probably been one of the most useful things that I use on a daily basis, literally every day. It doesn't cost a lot of money. I think it's really just a few cents to make. But whether you're in construction like me or any other fast-paced jobs like running a business, managing projects, or just balancing a hectic workload, you know how quickly things can pile up on you. Between emails, meetings, deadlines, and unexpected tasks, it's easy to lose track of everything that you're doing on a given day. But I want to show you this simple tool that I use to stay on top of everything. It's no fancy apps, again, no overcomplicated software. It's literally just one laminated piece of paper. Sometimes I think low tech is the best. I've tried digital planners, apps, and spreadsheets, but sometimes I find them a little overwhelming to use. And something simple as a quick desk reference, just a simple piece of paper, is usually best. With this sheet, everything I need for the week is right in front of me. I fill it out on Friday, so I know exactly what my next week looks like. So in a way, it's also like a weekly worksheet that guides me through the following week, where I can combine everything from my calendars, my emails, the current projects I have going on and different aspects that I need to deal with those. Again, is all in a quick reference form right here on my desk. So how the planner works, I'm gonna show this on my screen, but how the planner works is the top half is all about my repeating weekly tasks, so stuff that I do every single week. Like on Mondays, I kind of theme the days, or I try to keep similar things. Like if I'm going to use a similar program where I'm going to do my invoicing, I also want to do my subcontractor expenses because I'm using the same software. So on Monday, I have customer invoicing, subcontractor expenses, and so on. And those are things that I do, no matter what, every single week, over and over and over again. I have different items on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I give myself a buffer day. So if I have extra meetings and whatnot, and I can't get some of my repeatables done from Monday and Tuesday, I have Wednesday to be able to fill in and get those repeatables done. So it's just a buffer day. You can put it in there as anything that you'd like. And I have different things that I do on Thursday and Friday. Now, below these repeatable items are where you can fill out, where you can look at your calendar. You say, oh, I have an appointment at 3. This sheet isn't meant to act like a calendar. It is not. You can put the times on it. I usually do, just as a reference. So it's sitting on my desk. I can look. It's just another reminder for me. But you go to your calendar and you mark those meetings down. Or if you wanted to have a conversation with the person on that day, you can put that there under each one of those days. These added lines, you can put in those extra type tasks. Now that's the top portion. Now the bottom portion down here is flexible. I can write down priority tasks, things I need to delegate, punch lists, anything else that comes up really. You can change these headlines for these things down at the bottom that apply to you. Sometimes I have them as reminders. Sometimes I'll change it and I'll put invoicing. And so for Monday, under the invoicing column, I will list the people who I'm going to invoice, just because I don't have to go and search for it through my other software. I can just literally look, okay, I'm going to invoice these customers here. So the best part of this sheet is it's reusable. Now, you could make this in a spreadsheet and reuse it and keep changing the information or keep making copies of it for sure, but then it's stuck on your computer. You have to get out of the programs and you can't easily see it. This sits on my desk and is ready for me just to look at, so I don't have to go in and through all those programs and navigate my way through that. What I did is I printed this planner out and I laminated it. And I just used, I'll get the laminator that I used. It's ultra low tech. It was pretty cheap. I got it at Staples. Or actually someone else in my office got it at Staples, but this is the one that I use right here. It's called the Easy Laminator. It's literally, you just put the paper in and then you turn this and it spins the paper through it and laminates the paper. Now, the one thing though is if you just laminate this and then you try to write on it with a quick dry erase marker, it's not going to take. It's gonna it just kind of stays on the surface and it doesn't act like a dry erase board. It kind of puddles on the surface of this. So what you actually need to do is something I call prime it, and you need to get a bigger dry erase marker. So this is the one that I use. I got it on Amazon for the purpose of filling this out because it's a fine tip dry erase marker, but I'd get a really big dry erase marker, the type you could write on a big board with, and you coat this paper with it. You just go over the whole paper and make it just one big black blob over the whole paper. You let that dry and then you wipe it off, and then you will be able to write on the paper. And I'll show you real quick. So I know my lights are they're not great above our head, but I just want to show you that you can write anything. So you know, meeting at 5. Now, excuse my writing, or you can check off these different items right here as you complete them. Or if need be, you can cross this out and write, you know, invoicing on it, and then list underneath that the things that you're going to invoice. Now, if you mess up, you can literally, if you're quick, you can just wipe it off with your finger or a little piece of tissue or something like that. It's pretty cheap to make. I make a bunch of different kinds actually, so I'm just talking about this sheet, but I also have another one that's just lined. It's literally for if I'm on a phone call and I take notes, I can write the notes really quick and capture those notes while I'm on the phone, and I don't have to have big notebooks or pads of paper. It's reusable. You can just keep reusing it. That's how I make it. So what I do is I sit down on Friday. Every Friday, I take about 15 to 20 minutes to plan for the next week. I pull all my tasks from the different areas. So I look at my calendar, any scheduled meetings, deadlines, appointments. I'm gonna write it under that day. Emails, I'll have, you know, the customer follow-ups, the people that I'm gonna follow up with, invoices, anything requiring an action goes under there. I may have project notes or project updates that I have in there. So then I take all that stuff from the software, so from my calendars, from my emails, and I put it on this little reference sheet. This way, instead of checking multiple apps or digging through emails, I have a quick low-tech reference sitting right on my desk. It keeps me running smooth through my day. And then when I find myself where I kind of don't know what to do next, or I start procrastinating, which I think happens a lot because we're uncertain of what we could do next, I can go right to this sheet and I can see my whole weekend ahead of time, but it gives me those things like, oh, well, I can just start working on this. So instead of having to make the decision of what should I work on next, I can just go to my reference sheet and use that. I said I fill this out every Friday, which I do. I like to plan for the week ahead. Sometimes it changes. Again, use your dry erase marker, but I plan for the week ahead. But at the end of the week, which is also Friday, I have all the information that I filled out from the prior week, the week that I'm just finishing up, and I don't want to lose that information. What I do is before I go erasing everything on here, I just take my iPhone out and I use the Notes app to scan the paper. Now, usually at the top of this sheet, I put a date. I might even put, you know, an extended date like March and the date. Or the days of the week. Sometimes I'll mark at the top, I'll put March, I'll put the days of the week, but I'll have a date on here somewhere, so that way it becomes searchable in your notes. So you have a historical date of it. That way, you know, I have a historical record of everything, and since it's in notes, it's searchable. So if I ever need to look back on a task or reminder, I can do that on any of my devices. So this keeps me organized, focused, efficient, and I know exactly what I need to do each day, and I don't waste time scrolling through emails or doing all that other stuff. There are a couple downsides to this method, and the biggest one is this right here, is if it's on your desk, I've had people lean on my desk, or I've put my arm across and it wipes it off. Now, that's an issue when it's kind of new. If you let dry erase marker sit on this for like overnight or even for just a couple hours, it becomes harder to rub off. But that's the biggest thing, is you accidentally rubbing this off. So I try to keep it on a part of my desk that people aren't going to accidentally rub it off. Anyway, I didn't make another video today. I wanted to share something, and this is one of those things. I have a few more things like this that I do, but I'm always in search of, I don't know, I hate the word hack, but I guess hacks or tools and things of that nature to make my day easier and more organized and kind of take the anxiety and stress out of the day. And this is one of those things that it seems so simple, but it's worked so well for me that I wanted to share it, and hopefully maybe if someone watches this, they may have something similar that's simple and kind of low tech that they may want to share as well. Either way, if you found this helpful or you think this is something that you might use, let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. If not, just stop watching the video, I guess. But either way, I will leave you a link to the planner that I made. It's in Google Sheets, but you can, you'll be able to copy it from Google Sheets and change things as you need them for kind of your life. So again, find those repeatables that you need to do every single week. Find the day that works best for those, kind of theme your days for those repeatables so that you can attack those repeatables pretty efficiently. Gives you more room to add those other things like meetings and whatnot that you're going to have that week. And then down at the bottom, you can switch that to notes, calls you need to make, reminders. I have delegation on there, so if you have someone else doing something for you, you can remind yourself to check in with them that week. But you'll have all that there. So again, thank you for watching this. I hope this helps you in your productivity journey. And if you have any tips or tricks or anything like that that you can share below, that'd be well appreciated. I know if you're like me, you're looking for these tips and tricks to make life a little easier, and other people are definitely looking for these too. So let's help each other out and try to make our day a little nicer. Have a good one.